There we go. Well, thank you for that. Thank you very much. I should have noticed that. So, all that spinning around and all the crazy smiling, I'm elated to get to tell you guys I'm in the Military Ration Museum's new headquarters. I am in the shared conference room space for the office complex that we are now a part of. Welcome. I was just spinning around saying, "Take a look. This is our conference room. You can get a feel for the whole room there. Let me switch. So we've got our little shared meeting space whenever we need it, and I'm gonna hop up for a moment. You won't be able to hear me again, and show you. We'll see if this actually. Let's see if we can take this whole rig. This is not meant to be mobile, but we'll see how mobile we can make it for right now. So, I mean, there's no fanciness to it. I'll promise you that. But this is our space as of this afternoon. I've been moving over rations all day with my buddy Nick. So it's just been great to get started. We're trying to clear up some of the shelves back at my place so that then I can get a truck and the heavy stuff in the shelves can come over in a truck. So this is just a couple passes of putting stuff in my car, all the smaller stuff. So those are all full cases over there of just all kinds of different random stuff. And this is all empty boxes, empty crates for display and for having the actual items. So they all moved over great. And then I've got the field desk that I'm always sitting at. That I guess you get to see the top of it, the U.S. What is the surface of it when I'm using it normally. So this is just I don't have much prepared in terms of like an actual episode for this week. This was just I couldn't say no to getting this off the ground. So it's I think I had said we were looking at the one that was 550, not 450 or not 400, but it actually came down to five. So this is five. So this is $6,000 a year. That is insanely achievable for us. We'll be able to put all the archiving shelves in here. We'll be able to have two full desks in here. We'll be able to have a scanning and let me go back to our conference room. Holy crap! I'm going back to our conference room. And ground, there's no sunlight that's going to hit these things. It's always always going to be like 60 something degrees down here. It's what we wanted. So wait, let me see which one of these. um there we go. I, I it's just been a fantastic day. I've been working on this for a while, trying to get this actual space or another space or another space. I mean, it's just there's always got to be some, effort, some deal to attempt to get somewhere. And this went through. This is ours. Like I think this is, you know, you can't see it, doesn't matter. But I can write on the whiteboard. It's our whiteboard. So let's see. Yeah, I'll figure out lighting in here eventually. We'll have episodes in here, I'm sure, over time. Just ah, I'm just I'm not going to be doing a full length episode this week just because of this whole thing. I'm just pretty much just checking in and letting everybody know that I'm also thinking I'm going to be moving the stream time starting this week to Wednesday nights, probably around the same time. So probably 5 o'clock Wednesday is going to be when this will be. So then I'll be doing the first real episode at that time this Wednesday. So we're not going to have a big long gap. We'll just go right back into it. Fordman, we're about to we're about to start now that this is real. Now that this isn't me saying I'm really hopeful that X, Y, Z. Now that this is a space. I'm going to fire up a actual GoFundMe campaign soon for the rent for the year for the museum, and any day now we'll get that live, and I will share it with everybody. And that would be the best place because it'll be tax deductible. You'll be able to get any receipt that we need either from ourselves or from GoFundMe because we're signed up as an official charity with them, and we went through the approval and everything there. They're not going to keep any of the fees. There's just the credit card processing company keeps the normal like 1.2% or 2% or something like that. But GoFundMe normally charges monthly fees and maintenance fees, and there's all kinds of options for managing memberships and communication and reaching out to folks that have donated before and that kind of stuff that we get for free because we're a proven public charity. So this is just I'm so happy. I'm so happy I get to share this with you guys. And we exist. We have a space. So soon we're going to be able to actually have folks that that are in the area that want to come in and devote some time to photographing rations and pull on a pair of gloves and go page by page and help us scan books and catalog what we need to catalog and everything else. We'll have a space where it's not just hold on, let me let you into my apartment building, or and this building isn't necessarily filled with a lot of folks, so we have the space to spread out a bit when we're here, and not necessarily be right next to each other or anything like that. It's just this is, and it is 124 Chestnut Street, Philadelphia. We are. It's not going to be a open. It's never. This location isn't going to be where our doors open and someone walks in and looks at the collection as a tourist coming through the city and oh well that's neat. But this will let us stage for that and find that and prepare for that and be in a position where when we get that we're ready. So we're 1 block from the Museum of the American Revolution. We're 1.5 blocks from Betsy Ross's house. We're like 2 blocks from the first post office. We're 3 blocks from the birthplace of the United States, the very first capital of the U.S., the Independence Hall. It's just three blocks and change right up the street. We're 4 blocks from the Liberty Bell or 5 blocks from the Liberty Bell. The very first fire station is right up the street. We're right here. So when folks are in the area for those reasons, if they're looking to help the museum some way, they can stop by and they can see, we can certainly have, special events. We can have walkthroughs. We can have whatever we need to have here to some degree while we're building towards getting a space where someone can actually come in and go through, set display to set display and get the real museum experience. But, we'll also be in a space here where we can prep to do all of this online, and we can get as much as we can on the internet. So now let me catch up with chat because I'm still just, it's nothing's real until it's real, and every opportunity for hurdles to get tossed your way, you never know what's coming. So I just didn't want to get any hopes up any further than I already did until we're here. So let me take a deep breath and take a look. All right. So the sound here, this should be pretty quiet. Hopefully I'm not echoing too much. We'll figure all that out. I mean, I'm not even fully mic'd up normally. I'm just clipped on and, I'm just happy I got this thing on the internet. That was the couple minute delay. It was, oh yeah, I need to be on the internet in a basement in a new place wirelessly. We're piggybacking off of another company that's given the museum free internet. So no bill there. So that's already done. So we'll consider it a donation from them. Easy enough. So Citizens Bank Park. Oh yeah. I think that's one of the ones that's still standing, right? I can't really. They blew up the vet, or did did they blow up the vet? I can't remember, Jesse. I was in Philly until '07, then I left for 10 years, then I came back. So I missed a chunk of change, or a chunk of the, changing history of the city. But Philly is the official home. So now we can start some of the next phase of work, which, to some degree I was hoping to start doing at home a little bit, but it doesn't have to now. I can start here. I was starting to move everything from these dense, everything stacked together boxes of ration bits and bobs, and I could turn this camera off. It looks like there we go. Like some of the stuff we've been walking through on the stream, I want to take the individual rations out, put them into archival boxes with a framework around them so that the next layer doesn't rest on the rations themselves. It rests on the framework, and then another layer of maybe a few things, and then just that's it. Maybe 2 layers per box, 3 layers per box, with a nice framework between, so everything's got air all around it, and then track every single thing that we put into these and make sure we know what do we have, where is it, what collection box is it with, and how do we tag the actual items and all this stuff. It's fantastic. Um, I wonder if there's an Amtrak train coming up that way. I know I used to take the train from Philly through New York all the way up to Connecticut when I was living in Old Saybrook. I would take the train once in a while. I was on the Sound, southern central coast of Connecticut, on the Long Island Sound. That was a nice place. I used to work for Godiva Chocolatier, had a customer service headquarters there. How's dealing with PZ? What is PZ? I don't know. There's not like some new. It's not like Chaz, right? There's not some breakaway zone in Philly. Yeah, I mean, overall, the city's pretty neat, and it's come a long way since I was younger. In the '90s, Philly had a lot to come back from. Planning and zoning. Oh, we'll see. We're still, once we actually have to open a place where people are going to come through and there's displays and all that, I'm sure we'll get into more of a back and forth with that. But for right now, we're an archival office in a commercial office suite complex. We're fine for any zoning. So there's nothing we need to worry about in terms of any of the recording purposes, any of the events that we would plan to have in terms of just like, a dozen or 2 dozen people gathering. Well, actually, I mean, I don't know what the current rules are there, so yeah, I'm not trying to run afoul of anything there. I'm just saying, like in a normal circumstance, we could fit quite a few people in here for an event. And then there's a space next door that has already said, we can do event planning with them, and they'll help, with the mindset that we're a museum. So, there's all kinds of stuff going on. New Orleans, that's where you're at. I really like that whole region. I do. It's this time of year. It's a bit. I mean, muggy doesn't cut it. It's a whole new level of humid compared to further north. But how's everybody's week been? Kaylin, I caught your stream last week. That was great. Well, I was chatting with you there, but I've also gotten to check out a review by Viper GTS in between. That was awesome. I enjoyed that. Who else? I've been trying to watch some actual reviews this week. Ration Reviewer, I think. Ration Reviewer is one of them. He just commented on a video of mine last week. I watched his most recent too. That one of the humanitarian daily ration ones, I believe. So that was a lot of fun. It's been a long time since I regularly watched ration reviews, and tried to keep up on the forums. There's just a lot, you know, and with as many of us as there are now, we're discovering new whole like rabbit holes of thought in the ration world. Yeah, I can imagine it's hot down there. Tannerite. Tannerite. So if it's gotten to the point where it's all crusted together and you have to break it up, solidly before you're prepping it and adding in the second compound, the gray powder and everything. If it's already crusty and crunchy, just move on from it. That's my advice with that. I know you kind of went on a little aside there, but I have quite a bit of experience personally with tannerite, and would offer that advice. Once it's crystallized, once it's caked up, it's not going to do a great job anymore. But holy crud, if it's all loosely packed and it's all that powder's dispersed, and you hit a 3 or 4 pound brick of tannerite in the corner support of a building you're trying to take down, I could imagine um, that'd be pretty effective. The first time I took it to the range with a friend, we put too much out on a tree stump, 100 yards up the hill, and when we blew it up, it cavitated the stump and the ground just out. A good foot or two into the ground, and a chunk of stump went by us. And we learned our lesson, and we've never messed around with that much of it, that close to it ever again. But yeah, it's fun, and still legal in most of the country, as far as I'm aware. I'm going to be out in the Pittsburgh area, Eric, in I think 3 weeks going camping. So hopefully it's not too much worse than it is now. But I could use some outdoor heat at that point too. I'm sure. I'm just going to be out reading and fishing. That's my only hope. Going to try and wind down at the end of this summer. It's been a lot of work, mostly for my day job, and then this has been trying to get off the ground, until, I guess we're off the ground. This is it's just, I can't believe I'm sitting in our conference room. It's just, we got 5 or 6 more sets of back and forth planned for this week. Just moving a little at a time so that we can be careful with everything and we can double check everything after each trip. And then everything will be in here, and then the process will get back going with cataloging, and we'll continue to do these meetings every week to say, what are we walking through? And I think it'll be even a little more organized, because we'll do a little cataloging in between here and there, and then we'll get to walk through, hey, these are the things getting entered into the ration database this week, and let's see what we can all find out about them, because that's part of a challenge that I want to get going. It's trying to be the best source for as much info as possible. Find every different version we can, find every different maker for a particular thing, find as much history as we can for each of these mostly, government attached production companies out there, like, or food production companies and whatnot, and tell more of their history and tell what sacrifices they made during, the periods where our nation was at war, and they stepped up and made 2.5 million cans of peanut butter in a 3-month period, or whatever it was. Like, we need people to know these stories. They're part of who we are now, and that's the next. That's one of the whole next stages that we're going to get to do. Whether it's all for, online in the short term, it's still going to be worthwhile. Let's see. So, I do need to. I still have not tried pepperoni pizza MRE. So that's on my list. That'll happen at some point, soon. I still have to try it. I think it's been out for almost 3 years, about 3 years that it's been in production. So I really need to catch up on that. I want to say the first ones were actually getting made in 2016. So, howdy, Katie. Welcome. Oh, and howdy to everybody else: Jesse, Kalen, Eric, Fordman, Gail, JW, James. It's good to see all of you back again. I'm really loving the the dedication on everybody's part. Let me ask while I've got you all here, if this stream was at the same time on a Wednesday, would that still be something that folks would folks be able to tune into? Because that's kind of where I'm leaning right now, right around five or maybe six, but probably five on a Wednesday. And then that way I can get into more of a solid rhythm where I can be here at a set time and not worry about what other stuff is happening day to day or getting up and whatever. Oh, I mean, and we'd certainly, yeah, I'll reach out through the Slack, Gail. That's definitely, I mean, pieces like that can help make a whole display. And we'd appreciate to take good care of anything that you'd be willing to go that route. I know I was saying the next step for taking donations was having a location and an address. So I think we just need to know a little bit more about what we have, what we don't have, and I've been trying to remember not to slap the table because I realize that comes through pretty loud on the mic. But I need to figure out what we have and what we don't have, and then start saying like these are our absolute highest priority list because I feel like it might change some people's minds in terms of if they were going to donate, one or two things, but they don't know necessarily what we need. They might, it might lead to just some problems if we took something in and then they realized they would have rather donated something else, or I don't know. There's all kinds of ways to put it, but I just want to make sure we know what we're looking for the most, what we have a lot of, so that you guys don't give up, say, something that would be precious to you that you could use yourselves for your channel, for your viewers, for your friends, for your own personal enjoyment of all this, and that we have six of in a case, so, or eight of in a crate. So just very soon we're going to get the fundraiser up for the rent, now that there is rent and there is a goal and there is a building, and then we're going to get uh, just our list of what we're trying to get, and what our day-to-day operating needs and that kind of stuff are, and then we got to get the word out. This is great. I always love that you guys want to reach out and help out, but I don't want the museum to be something that just continues to rely on the kindness of a core group of a couple dozen folks. I want to make sure that we spread this around as much as we can, so that we have folks with a $20 a year membership to the museum to remember to get a little reminder that they're helping kick in or something like that, and get thousands of people to join to help together like that, so that in the end we can spread out the safety net of keeping this organization running, so that all of our lives can exist as they do, and when we want to pitch in, we pitch in. But for the most part, the museum needs to get to like that steady starting point, and then the museum can buy its own rations and can host events and can teach people and can engage the public, and I just can't wait. All these things they're so exciting. I'm having a hard time containing the emotion, if you can't tell. It's a lot. I think we gotcha. Yeah, Kayla, I think as far as I know, I found my box where I have that sort of stuff, and we don't. So if that's something you're still, I'll make sure once we have an address, or I mean once I get the address out there, I'll let you know, and we'll you know keep keep forever the badge of honor of having gotten something from you. Let's see. Sell bricks. Oh yeah. I mean, I'd love to see this grow to a point where someday the museum gets to purpose build a space. Could you guys imagine where we get to design what kind of building we want and pick where it's going to go? That would be, yeah, that would just be amazing. You know, because there's all kinds of displays we could think up, you know, that could fill out some space in a classroom and a, you know, a little movie theater and a cafeteria, and I mean we can recreate the actual mess conditions, the field messes, the forward operating base messes, the um, you know you know the special forces eating around a campfire in Vietnam kind of messes. You know, just we can recreate all these scenes piece by piece and bring people closer to what our fighting forces have gone through and what, you know, what it means to be able to get that little piece of home while they're out there, let alone while, you know, going through being educated on it's at this period that, you know, we learned that the lining of lead in cans could lead to, you know, and or, you know, freeze drying came about as a result of a need to cover a, you know, and just it's just so much is going to come out of this. Yeah, mess kitchens and, you know, the fold out. I mean, I want to have one of those fold out trailer kitchens that we can take to an event and fold out and have people come up through, you know, and maybe do some serving from the back of a, you know, from the back of a Humvee with the water submersion tanks for the unitized group rations. So we have our, you know, banks of UGRs all piping hot and roll up to an event and say, you know, come grab a plate of whatever and, you know, learn about ration history and learn about the museum and, you know, donate and here's when we're open, here's our events and here's what I mean, I don't know, just we have, you know, we've started this ball rolling and this is just the next step. So I'm beyond thrilled if you can't tell. But I think I am gonna potentially wrap this one up pretty quick this week. Well, howdy, Jeremiah. You're getting here. I know folks are going to be drifting in because this normally goes for 2 hours, but like I said, I don't have boxes to dig through right now. We just moved empty cases, and we moved the just full cases of actual rations. So all those 5 or 6 piles that were by themselves on the floor level, they're all just a full case of 97B, a full case of, you know, 1980, or yeah, a full flat case of 84s, a full flat case of 88s, you know, a different variation on the case, but still the same meals for the in-flight feedings, which those are fun because they're just like a mix of all the ones, like you go through your, you know, Cadillac packed or whatever brown bag MREs, and some of them are going to say for in-flight feeding use only. Well, then you get your flight feeding use cases, and it's only those. And I guess there's specifics about the ones in there that versus the ones that aren't labeled that way that maybe wouldn't do so well at a certain elevation or altitude when you're in the air. But just we have a space. We're in it. This is it. I'm just gonna do one more quick walkthrough. We're just gonna fire up this little extra can, flip this around, and I'm just gonna walk up to ground floor maybe at the end. We'll see if we lose signal or not. But all right, let's see. So this is our room, and there's potential to expand too over time. We'll be able to potentially take more of these rooms. But this is us. You know, I've got a little closet there, space where I don't know if I'll be sticking the desks in that side or the shelves in that side, but it's a pretty big space actually. Like you've been seeing me sit at that every episode that we've been here. That little box, that's my desk, and it's pretty big. You know, opening all that up. So um, that's that. No, I wouldn't say Steve's not. I can't speak for Steve. Let's just say that much. He and I have been talking over the last couple days. He's had some, you know, some requests about the museum, so we've just been chatting. But I won't speak for him. That's all. I think you know, he had plenty of reason not to consider this a in progress or done thing for all those years, and you know, nope, can't fault him for that. Oh, but yeah, like I said, I just won't put words in anybody else's mouth. Oh, no, that's the mic. This is what I want to turn off. There we go. But we'll see where the future takes us. So that is a good question though. So we are doing our best to. Well, I am doing my best to fill in the gap there in terms of cataloging those things, their current value, and making sure a donation receipt gets out to anybody that wanted one. For the most part, as things were provided to the museum, and there were only, Steve provided quite a bit and always had. He always believed in the museum, and he recently did put up a list of that kind of stuff. But there's only a handful of other things that were ever direct donations to the museum collection. I've personally put up 98% of what's in this collection. So that's the, and I don't know that I can even justify to myself what happened with that lapse. But the museum bank account is still at the exact same dollar value it was when that happened. There's never, the I believe it was around $300 was raised on that trip that cost well over $300 out of my pocket at the time. But just as a for instance, like that went into the museum bank account, and it's still in the museum bank account. I think I've spent maybe $75 from it in the last 3 years, and that was for an online account for Grant Station, where I'm trying to see if we can get some grants. So I can't really do anything other than ask for some forgiveness and for some faith that this is a pretty solid effort towards the future. So. But I think it is a worthwhile question to ask at this point. So I appreciate it being brought up, and there's no reason not to address it. So no problem at all. I do appreciate that. But it's gonna be a worthwhile exercise every time we have this bulletin to try and get everybody caught up to where this project is, and to share everything that happens 1 week at a time, because piece by piece we are now actually creating a real nonprofit that's trying to address a handful of different goals and bring something to the public. So I think piece by piece we'll be able to see that happens, and I really look forward to sharing that with everybody. And I think as more people get on board with the museum itself, we'll all have something to be proud of together. So it's this community that made the concept of people keeping old food, something more than just an idea. It's history. It's it's valuable to our story as a people. And I can't wait to help share it. So I'm going to be signing off for this week. Just really wanted to get this in here and show you guys this huge jump for us. So like I said, over the next few days, I'm going to keep moving everything in. And then when we get down to the last and heaviest stuff, I'll get some more help, and we'll get a truck, and we'll move the really heavy stuff and the shelving and all that. And then I'll start full on archiving in here, and bit by bit, we're just going to get closer and closer to having the best collection of information about military food there is. I appreciate everybody coming out for another Sunday stream. Like I said, I'll be doing a Wednesday stream this week is my goal, so keep an eye out for that. I'll get that on the schedule, and then we'll see how that works, and I'll probably be switching to Wednesday night streaming. But so that'll be 3 days from right now. So we'll get that up. We'll walk through some items in our new office, and we'll make sure I get the internet from being. I noticed it was a little spotty in there, so I just got to get that figured out. But this is nice. I don't mind working in this room. This is this is a nice big space. We got the big TV and all that, so it's great seeing everybody. I'll keep everybody in the loop, and I will keep going as we make progress with this. Don't forget, please feel free to go to go down to the links in the about. There's the Discord for anybody and everybody. No forms to fill out, no lines to wait in. Anybody can just join it. Doesn't cost the museum anything for members. And then the Slack is anybody that needs that, fill out the volunteer form and let me know that you're interested in helping the museum, and we'll get you access to the Slack. And share the Twitter, share this channel, and I'll see everybody again soon. Thanks so much. I'm just so happy. Thanks, everybody.